Alright, you guys. This is Winter Solstice 8, 4-1 Solstice 25, and I gotta tell ya, this thing is so close to being done. It is so close to being done. Like, oh my god, you have no idea how close it actually is until I actually start showing you some of this stuff. If you follow me on Twitter, I've most likely said a lot about it. But anyways, let's take a peek. So there's a few changes over here, more notably here. A bit here. There is a lot of new stuff. There's eyeballs in places, there's faces, there's hands, there's an Eye of Ender, there's pathways that weren't here before, there's even more buildings and stuff, and oh man, there's even more shadow and stuff. Just what have I been doing here? Some of you might be thinking. Like, oh, I forgot to put a door here. That's weird. Well, I've done a lot. Let me put it that way. I have done so much. Like, the amount I have done is ridiculous. Oh, I forgot to put a ladder here also. I knew I was forgetting something. But yeah, I've been doing quite a few things to this project. So yeah, this is a bit of like a public library, I guess. Or it's a public library. There's no books yet, but I might change that in the future. But yeah, there is a ton of changes I did to like everywhere. And I mean just about everywhere. Like, this didn't have this pathway and extension out before. There's these. I'll get to what some of this stuff. Actually, I'm not so sure I'm gonna get to that. There's, yeah, there's just so much I changed. There's lights in that. Um, there's this guy over here. There's this random building. There's lots of new pathway. Okay, so let's see what this is. This is actually sort of like a little small, like, sort of house, sort of hut thing. Like, there's a seating here, there's a table, and he has, like, this little counter here and a small bookshelf. It's just a make-do house, and it's alright. Actually, yeah, this can be closed. I guess this is sort of like the pathway theme to different, like, little buildings and stuff. I basically just like have this one above the fence post one, which is just above the light one, which is just above the fence railing. And man, have I added a lot of crazy stuff to this. It just feels more and more like a village every single time. This is not going to work properly. I can tell. Yep, I knew it. Damn horse. Anyway, moving on. There's more pathways like all over the place. And I might even add a few more yet. Now I realized this was here previously, but I did not show what it was about. So you come up here. There's nothing right here yet, but if you go to the very top of this ladder, you're on another platform, basically. And if you keep going up, you basically come out of this thing that looks kind of like a tree house, and then you're basically on a bridge, and then that takes you to here. I keep clicking my left mouse because I've had a force of habit of tried to make it actually do anything. So I guess I kind of call this the Hall of Memories for now. It sort of like has this ability to overlook a bit of this place, as well as it has its own sort of lonesomeness to it, and has its own decorative fanciness. Like the fanciness doesn't show any sign of like necessity outright so far. But yeah, I'm gonna call this what I call it, the Hall of History or something, Hall of Memories. Yeah, something like that. It's not really a hallway, but that a hall doesn't really need to be a hallway, does it? I mean, City Hall, it's roughly a building. Now, some of you might be thinking, why is it called of memories? I mean, there's nothing really exactly memorizing here of like things that might have occurred besides maybe this carpet or maybe like these or something, and maybe these highly damaged anvils and nether brick. Well, maybe it could be. It just is, okay? It's its own uniqueness to it, and yeah, it just sort of has a fitting looking name for what it basically is. Now, I have been considering maybe adding another building around here or something, just to make this place look a little less lonely. Yeah, this place is pretty lonely. Like, there's nothing else by it. I don't intend to attach anything else to this bridge. Down here, I would be a lot more fine with that. Yeah, there is a lot of new stuff. And this is a little location if you want to visit, I guess you could. If someone does use this, I would like you to please do something with this and be like the Whispers or something. I think that would be cool. Like maybe it would like give you hints or something. And it's only occurring in certain times. Like maybe you can even like hide command blocks or something and have this activate under certain circumstances. Like say an item in your hand or like a specific spot in your hand. Like that would be cool. And some might be thinking this is probably the same face. Nope, this one is smiling. Ah, that moment when you press caps lock. And there's like this hand sticking out. Yeah, this place is pretty cool. And I have this pathway on both sides coming out. There's this beautiful, very gorgeous Eye of Ender that's very third dimensional. And I already got some pretty good word on this one. And now to show off the teleporters. Now, here... God damn this. This area is a pet peeve of mine. At certain angles, I think it was... Yeah, that's it right there. Like, you could just see right through it for some reason. That is a huge pet peeve to me. And then right here, we have ourselves the teleporter area. I say area because it's not just like one thing, it goes straight up and straight down, basically. Or kinda straight up, straight down. Like, the teleporters are like along that wall, but you always end up in the middle of this. Or roughly in the middle. And if we come over here, you'll realize these say teleporter up and teleporter up. You step on these and they take you up and turn you around. Bam! Which reminds me, I need to copy this onto the other side, I think. Anyways, the ones going down is a little differently done. And the way it's designed is to, rather than like one or the other of pressure plates, it's just one whole thing. And I expect people to go through the middle and they get a moment of blindness for like 5 seconds. And then bam. And I was thinking, this is a nice sight for sore eyes. So one more time. Bam. And then bam. I think that's a nice contrast from one to the other. Okay, so I have. Some of you might be looking at this and trying to decipher exactly what all it is. Like me actually looking straight down at it, it seems a little more clear, but just to clarify from me as the builder, it is sea lanterns, I want to say prismarine, water over it slash beside it, like it's filled, like it's a container of sea lanterns filled with water, and then it is stained glass over that. Blue stained glass, more specifically. And I figured this would be a neat effect, and I most certainly do enjoy it. Hello, why are you like this? Eh. Lighting issues. Anyway. Yeah, I still get issues with I keep saying prismarine. Sea lanterns, sea lanterns, sea lanterns. And yeah, I've been really decorating stuff up with some obsidian, like vines, tentacles, weird spikes and stuff, and giant eyeballs. I really wanted to make this feel more like the end, and yeah. Like say maybe this place is partially made of Endermen. I love the idea of that concept. I gotta tell ya. I've also fancied this up even more. Like as you can see, I have netherrack fence here, and there's probably a few more bits of obsidian and such. So yeah, I touched that again, as well as underneath it. I just kept getting all these annoying to look at lighting things. And I was like, is there a way to resolve this? I really should just like Google that or something. Or like check on YouTube. I've also added like some more supports to underneath these. As well as I added a little more unique shape to that. Like more vertically. So it's a little more to look at. So yeah, that's quite a bit there. There's this going on. There's nothing really special to this besides it's a waterway. And I like to be a little more out and about with my waterways, where I don't like just simply stopping them. I like them to be a little more elaborate, and it'll be a little more interesting. Like say, maybe I dump an item off somewhere, and it'll just like show up elsewhere down the stream. Like I think that'd be fun. So yeah, that's basically what that's about. I tried making it a little more stand out with like some gold and like change the tone of it a bit from just gray and this aquatic bluish color, and then I also kind of started this up a bit. So this is basically where part of the roof shape is going to be, and at where I definitely want it up to in terms of height. Like how far it's gonna stick of that sort, I have no idea, but I definitely want it at that kind of height, and I want to also mess around with some of these other areas and elevations and stuff, and I really want to set up some more stuff onto the roofing. Now, some of you are also probably noticing this. Now, this is not fully complete. In fact, this is purposely not complete. I say purposely because otherwise this might have some problems for me, personally. Now, let me explain that. So, I plan to have water in here. Yeah, I think some of you can already guess what that means. I'm gonna sort of fill this with water, like this area of water, and I kind of want to go over every single piece of the sea lantern with water. And then it will look really amazing, I think. I have not personally tested it, but I'm pretty sure it'll look amazing. Like, you'll lose track of the stained clay underneath. You'll get these fancy lights and lots of water, and it's going to be dark in here. Without a doubt in my mind, it is going to be dark in here. Like, there's these here, but it's going to be dark in here. Even with all these lights, it's going to be dark. That's for sure. Whether I need to add more lighting, I have no idea. Like, the water, I believe, knocks out a few levels of light when it's, like, covering it. So, that's why I say it's going to be dark in here. Well, besides the fact that I'm going to put roofing over this, so I want to put the roofing on first before I put on the water. Otherwise, I might be experiencing some further lag. Now, something else I kind of debate it is if I wanted to put anything inside of this, like maybe a way to look out or something. Maybe a floor, like higher up. Because you've seen it, it's kind of barren plain on this part, but regardless, I will have some stuff about to make it a little less boring. But I don't know if I want to say anything higher up inside of it. Like, let me show you the bottom floor. I'm blind. The bottom floor isn't too bad. I just basically set up an atmosphere for it, and I made sure that anything that goes on above will not, any like changes won't be directly affecting the lower area. Like, I set a layer of slabs in. So that's how that's kind of going. Trying to think if there was anything else. So yeah, there's also these really long pathways, and of all the places they could go to, there's going to be this outside bit through here, and there's going to be this, I guess. And there's going to be that over there. We basically discussed everything I have to discuss about for that. What else is there? I know there's some... Oh, I know. Do I have... No, I got rid of that. I realized I probably wasn't going to place very many more. Okay. Give at P... Not command block. Barrier. What? Okay, so I take some of what I make a little seriously in terms of presentation. And I do not want panty shots. Not in the least. If you ever become someone who downloads this map, let me know if there is a good angle or something, and I will try my best to resolve that. Like, I am dead serious. I do not want panty shots ever in this thing. It's one thing if you downloaded the statue itself. Do what the hell ever with that. I don't care. But this is the Temple of Ianite. It deserves to be respected as the Temple of Ianite. If you are going to try to you get the picture. Just look at this. I had to stare at this for hours. Now, before I lose my ability to saturate colors properly with my eyes, I am going to stop looking at that, and that will also decrease a ton of frame rate lag for me. Oh man. So yeah, it's basically most of what I have going on currently. I am also debating on a few smaller features to add in. Like I was concerned maybe somewhere in the front I'd set up like a sort of like a little donation thing. Like say someone visits this place and wants to donate to the temple. There's like a charity thing for like maintenance or whatever. Just like gold or diamonds or something. Like maybe a box or something, toss one in or something. Oh, excuse me. Dang. Just ate dinner. Something else I was thinking of that I kind of liked was that maybe toss it inside of a well. In which case, I was thinking, what if people could toss. Stuck on a barrier. Toss donations, so many obstacles, inside of the Well of Peace. Or Fountain of Peace. Like, as it is, that's right there. You could put a hopper underneath and make it do stuff. I'm just saying, you could. I don't know if I'm actually going to situate that yet or anything. Shh, don't tell anyone. But anyway, trying to think. Was there anything else I did to this? Anything major? Let's see. Dark as hell. Lots of new pathways, new buildings. Is there any buildings I didn't go over? I think I went over them all. There's a hand. There's the newer lights about all this stuff, just to make sure it's more notable once this goes dark and a little more presenting. I tried to reduce some lag by adding more blocks. That's right, more blocks. Now, I don't know if that actually will decrease the lag, but I think it should be able to by some extent by reducing certain factors in the way blocks render. I don't actually know the system for that, but I believe the chunk system probably recognizes some of this in the means of formulas and tries to rep- replicate those formulas. And by trying to replicate the formulas and interpret them into like physical rendering, I assume it would probably like cause a little more lag. So I figured maybe like random variables would probably resolve that, but I don't know if that actually does anything. I could be mistaken in how that works. In fact, I'm most likely mistaken how that works. Like, I personally do not understand the code, nor have I ever really looked into how the code works myself, so don't take my word on that. But, yeah. That's basically all of what's new, really. I do still want to add some supports to this, but for the most part, the inside is basically done. There's just a few really small stuff I just want to add in, and I'll basically just jump right at the whole roofing thing. And maybe a few small touch ups to the outside, and this will be one beautiful, gorgeous, finished build by yours truly. In fact, this will be one of the biggest projects I've done myself. Now, I really haven't. I also haven't checked how big this thing is. Like, I know I've done some 300 by 300 project before. Okay. As I recall, this is Z. Okay, 900, negative 900. Let's just zip through. confirm. Basically, one of my biggest projects. Well, actually, I need to see how this is X-wise. Okay, so that's a little over 300. Let's say around. Actually, I'm still about here. That's really close to 400. So yeah, definitely the lengthiest my projects have been. This is from one corner. Just go to another, like 605. I still haven't gotten rid of that purple wool. That's funny. 605. Roughly another 400. Oh boy, just the thought of that. Hang on a sec. Let's see. 400 by 400, that's like 16. 6. Okay, 160,000 blocks of area alone. Okay, now, hang on a sec. Let me just, F3 39. I'm going to try to figure out the volume of this place. I'm going to find the highest spot so far. I'm going to go higher than that for sure, but it'll just give me somewhat more of an idea. Okay, this is the highest block. 39 to 165. Okay, hang on a sec. Okay, so that is 20,160,000 block volume in total so far. Like, I could be a little more precise, but that's roughly the kind of area I've been building within. So yeah, busy. And as you can imagine, that's also gonna have some crazy busyness for doing the roofing. Especially with all this stuff and having to go through all these different levels and stuff. So yeah, lucky me. No, no, I literally mean lucky me. Like personally, I enjoy keeping busy and such. But this is gonna be just a tad bit busier than I normally am. So, if I want this done before the 31st, I think I'm going to have to not really do any more recording until I'm done with this project. So that is one downside for the next few days for sure. And I'm very sorry about that. For anyone who wants to see me do any more work to this stuff. But you can expect me to go over this stuff a little better during that time and see all these newer additions and the finished products, as it were. So I think that's probably going to wrap it up for today. I am going to find possibly the more, probably more overview-esque spot. Or actually, maybe I should sort of find a good spots for like a lot of this newer inner stuff. It's taking too long for me to fly downwards, so I'm just gonna fall. Ah, and yeah, I am Winter Solstice 8, 41 Solstice 25. Make sure there's nothing there for me to punch. And have a good day. Bye bye.